Mark's going to talk about the future of Proptech, AI-powered digital twin for real estate. You need the remote control.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. So good to be here. I spoke to some of you. You are from Australia. It's a far journey. For me, it's just like a backyard 2 hours away from Singapore. So going to do a quick introduction of Matterport. So before I jump into sharing more about Matterport itself, just a little bit of story. Some of you might have known Matterport, experienced it. The thing is this, I joined Matterport about 4 years ago, and that was during COVID. And my parents is like, hey, you know what company are you with right now? And it's over a dinner, and I said, I joined this company called Matterport, and they're scratching their head like, okay, what do they do? And I said, digital twin. And they go like, what? Digital twin? Never heard of it. And then they say, okay, try, any one of you here, try explaining digital twin to someone that is in their mid-70s. If you could do it, wonderful. So I gave up. Continue to have my dinner, and then my parents say, hey, you know what? They stay in a very old house, 4,000 square feet, about 400 square meters, and they said this, we want to renovate the house, and you be the project manager. You have 200K budget to do it. I'm like, okay, fine, take it on. And the next thing is this. I actually do a Matterport of that house, and I start to look for contractors to renovate the house. And at the end of that renovation journey, interestingly, the contractor came back and said, this is the last tranche of payment, and the electrical wiring costs you like $15,000. And I'm like, okay, can you walk me through like why is it $15,000? And they say, yeah, you see, all these are the recabling done. These are all the rework that is done. And then I'm like, hey, hang on, you know what? I went back to my digital twin, I pulled out everything, and I said, hey, you know what? These cable points are already there. You are overcharging me. And I managed to reduce that fee by $2,000, right? From a $15,000 work. And then my parents goes like, wow, so you're working for a great company that helps me to save $2,000. So imagine if that translates to the commercial world, what is the impact going to be like? So that's Matterport. And these are all the customers that we serve in the region. Very familiar names. I'm not going to go through all of them. Likewise, these are the ones that we do serve as well in Asia-Pacific region. And many of you will be wondering, like, what exactly Matterport and digital twin is. Yeah, it's a URL, as simple as that. And I love Matterport because it's a very good visualization. It's a piece of artwork, beautiful. So everyone knows NVIDIA, right? So everyone is in the tech industry. We are talking about AI. And Mr. Jensen Huang, he says, hey, you know what? What's in the world is a digital twin, right? So he himself is driving a digital twin agenda. Do you know why? Simply because you need a lot of GPU processing power to create a digital twin. So the more digital twin, more business for him. And he's pushing this. So we talk about this whole world of digital twin. There's many of them. In the manufacturing world, you can see there are like, the likes of Siemens, Autodesk. They come up with the products that are called digital twin. Likewise, for geographical information system players, they also have the smart city digital twin, as well as CGI digital twin. Everything is being done. And obviously, there is another category which we call it a spatial tech, spatial digital twin. So there's many type of digital twin, and everybody got very confused what exactly digital twin is. And it sounds very, very expensive. Am I right to say so? And the thing is this. What I'm going to share later with you is this whole concept of digital twin in all the various aspects of your life. So just to begin with, right, what you see here, this is not from me. This is, in fact, from AWS. And the white paper was written by Dr. Adam Rashid. I met him personally last year. And I got intimidated when I went into the meeting room. So it was like myself and my engineer lined up with 4 doctors from AWS. And then they are like, I'm Dr. Adam, I'm Dr. Cheng, I'm Dr. da-da-da. And I'm like, wow, man. And then Dr. Adam says, you know what? We are the most useless doctor in the world because we couldn't save life. They are all PhDs and they do a lot of research. And he came out with this white paper and he was so excited to share with me. And the thing is this, starting from L1, we call it level 1. This is a very simple basic form of a descriptive digital twin. And this is what most of us are very familiar with. So if you go into like a property listing, some of you will be seeing like a building mock-up, and then you have like a double click into that building, you see a digital twin representation. That is at a level 1. And eventually, what are we looking at transforming this set of data from a level 1 into level 2? How do we augment this data together with the IoT sensors, the information, the data that we are going to put together? That will bring you to a level 2. So you can imagine the kind of value that you're going to extract from here. And then the third part, the predictive twin. I really love this. And I am very fortunate to be able to see a demo of this level 3 predictive twin. So the what-if algorithm is super important here. Just to share, for example, this condominium has 300 units, 300 households, and there are a population of, let's say, 1,000 people living in this condominium. So what if there is a tsunami? What if there's an earthquake? What if there's a fire breakout? How many emergency exits are there in the building? 5, 10, 20? This information is good to have or important? How does the evacuation plans look like? So you could almost augment that 1,000 people within that 300 family household exiting the building with a what-if algorithm. So this is predictive. And obviously, there is also the living twin, which eventually talk about, how the model will train itself and become smarter. So very interesting thing. We talk about digital twin of all different sizes. We are talking about property, residential property of 500 square feet, 1,000 square feet, all the way to massive digital twin like this that is 58,000 square feet. And a lot of time, people will start to ask like, hey, you know what? It looks like a very expensive technology, super complicated. We are all Proptech folks here, how do we get started on this journey? So the thing is this, my journey nowadays starts with ChatGPT. So in the morning when I'm having my coffee, I will just put in some prompt and start asking what should I do today? So the thing is this, I asked ChatGPT the same question, like, how do I create a digital twin? And it's mind-blowing. So they give me a set of instructions that says, gather the tools, software, plan the projects, and then, capturing of the data all the way to step 8. And by the time I read through this, I'm like, okay, most of you will have given up. I would be surprised if any one of you would want to continue this journey. So then I kind of refined my question to ChatGPT, and I said this, what is the faster way to create a digital twin, right, of a 1,000 square feet house? And I'm kind of glad that the very first return was like, choose the right software and platform, and it's Matterport. So I kind of reassured myself that I'm in the right company as well. So the thing is this, as you can see from here, if you are using the right platform and the right tool, creating a digital twin is a breeze. So that's the ChatGPT return. And the thing is this is what ChatGPT says, but this is what our technology layer says. It's as simple as 1, 2, and 3. All you need to do and understand is, just like a camera, just like your mobile phone, you need a capture devices. On the left-hand side, you have, your smart devices, pair up together, and then that's it, right? All you need to do is scan and upload. So some of you may see me this morning holding on to my iPad, and I was walking around and scanning. The output is out like within an hour. So talk to us at the booth, and then I'll be able to share with you the output later on. So the thing is this is how easy it is to create a digital twin. So the other very, very important role that this digital twin plays is that it is now called a single source of truth. And why is because if you look at, a lot of you here will be looking at portal listings, how do you list a product, how do you get the search engine up, etc., etc. But if you look at as a customer journey today, I'm going to buy a property, and once I have that property, the listing get removed, the data get removed. What do you do with it? Nothing else. Everything got dumped. Is that the case? But if you have a digital twin as a single source of truth, your customer journey and stickiness is brought to the next level. And what we are talking about is, the other use cases where, the customer will be saying that, hey, you can take down a listing, but the digital twin data is still alive and active. You could use it to do a fit out, a design. You could do it as a building like what I've shared earlier on, the renovation work. You can help add a lot more value to your customer's journey. And eventually, we talk about Operate here, which is also the smart home, the IoT sensors, everything get integrated, and it's very common nowadays. So this is exactly what I would say that, it is a very unique and is a new way of looking at digital twin. So design and build. Talk about all these different use cases. And one of the things is this. So if I draw your attention to the left-hand side, this is actually 18 Robinson, that's Singapore. And our customer came to us and said that, hey, we have a very nice place that we want to list out, and then what are we going to do, and how is it going to look like? So the thing is, you can do a virtual stage. And on the bottom left, you see like this is the before the renovation, after the renovation, and you could do a time travel. And if the renovation takes like for 4 months, you could create 6 or 8 digital twins during that whole 4 months period, and you can track the progress. So the thing is this, when Malcolm presented like the digital content, right? He said like, these are the assets that is needed. Matterport already has all these things. Like, all these are already generated by the AI without you having to do anything other than scan and upload. That's the only thing that you need to do. So just to share one of our very good customers in Hong Kong, and I'm sure most of you would know Midland in Hong Kong. So they have 35,000 property listings on their website, on their app. And I met Angela last year, end of last year, and she told me that, hey, Mark, today we only have close to 10,000 property listings with Matterport Digital Twin. We need to drive this up to 20,000. We need double. And why is that so? It's exactly what I've just explained to you. It is the customer journey, the stickiness that they want to create and differentiate from the rest of the listing portal. So they are ahead of the curve versus any other portal in the world because of the adoption here in the region. Next thing is this. I talk about, the L1, L2, L3, and L4. And slightly different context here, but what I wanted to show you is also like, how powerful this technology is today. So you could imagine you have all the IoT sensors data in the middle here, you have your surveillance cameras information over here, and then you have your augment of the digital twin on the top view, as well as the immersive view. So the thing is this, all these are very complicated right from the start, it seems like. But the thing is this, with the technology today, we are able to kind of streamline it. And as I explained, it's as simple as 1, 2, and 3, and this could be done. So this is my very last slide. And we do have, my colleagues with me here today, Edwin, Eleanor, and Warinsa. So we'll be at the booth just outside the meeting room. So if you have time, please feel free to chat with any one of us. Yep.
Mark, thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah.
a bunch of questions coming up, and I've got
Yep.
some questions for you too. First of all, we're going to start with the elephant in the room. CoStar bought you guys,
Yeah.
and that was completed a couple of weeks ago, I read. How will that change the focus of the business?
Well, this is a very interesting question, and I was trying to avoid the CoStar conversation because our legal told us not to have any conversation about CoStar. So the thing is this: there's going to be a lot of things that's happening. Andy is a great guy. In fact, he was planning to be in the region somewhere in April-May timeframe. And the thing is that I believe that Andy, as a very visionary leader, he has planned to grow the Matterport business and create this whole seamless Matterport digital twin, as well as all the different portal listings experience.
Yeah, and I guess I was reading somewhere about, I think Matterport in the US with Homes.com is bundled up, isn't it, as an offer for the agents?
Yes, precisely that. So the thing is this, right? You could imagine this is, we heard a lot of time, 1 + 1 = 3. But for Andy, it's like 1 + 1 = 5. So he has a very different math altogether that I couldn't understand. 1 + 1 = 5. But this is where he is heading towards.
Right. So his job, he's going to let. Clearly, you're not going to keep doing just what you're doing. It's going to be a whole new world.
Yes.
And you can't talk about it because the lawyers are going to be a little angry at you. I understand that. Does a digital twin mean a client doesn't need to go on a viewing, or does it make it more likely that they will view only the right properties?
Yeah, very, very good question. So the thing is this, if you look at this, the digital twin itself is a very useful tool for you to qualify and at the same time to kind of understand your customer's behavior. So there are a lot of data set within the digital twin. What I've just seen is probably 5% of its capability. You could even imagine, like the digital twin itself, there are so many metadata, georeferencing data in it that if a user clicks on the digital twin, you'll be able to track down their behavior and say that these particular customers keep going to the balcony, look at the view, and this is something that attracts him. So as an agent, your conversation is going to surround about that particular view that he keep looking at. So the thing is this, your imagination can run wild with this whole concept of digital twin.
Okay. What is next for the Matterport technology?
This is a big question, right? So we do have our product development conferences every year, and I have to say that there's going to be a lot of new features to be launched. In fact, if you could, have a chat with us at our booth, we'll be able to show you. In fact, one of them is the generative descriptions. So the digital twin itself will be able to detect, for example, this is going to be a dining room that is good enough for a table of 10 packs, 10 chairs, object detections, etc. And then you will come up with a generative description of the property itself. So everything is done by the AI.
Okay, and last question. So this is about Midlink in Hong Kong. Did the listings double to 20,000, and how was it done?
So the thing is this, the listing was at about 30,000 for secondary market, and then another 10,000 for leasing. The thing is this, so Midland is Midland in Hong Kong. So the thing is this, they are also winning more listing because they are able to differentiate from their competitors.
Okay, so it's a better offering overall.
Yes.
So they're leveraging Matterport technology together with, to provide, together with their current technology in-house, to provide their clients with a better outcome, and therefore they're getting more clients.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, excellent. Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Well done.
All right.